What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Daft Previews. I see in the comments, yes, yesterday was a good day. We'll talk about it in a second. I'm still rocking the Phoenix hat because KD got it done today. Really pleased about that. Doing a live stream for you guys because I don't have the time to create the content, edit that stuff, send it all out to you. Hey, and it worked pretty well yesterday. I had a pretty good time chatting to you guys last night. I'm not going to go for an hour. I'm going to try not to, but we'll see how we go. I've got 2 picks that I've got down already. We'll talk about some others. I'll talk back and forth with you guys in the chat. But enough about that. Let's go.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.
So not only did we get a 3-0 sweep on the picks that I shared with you guys in the stream yesterday, VIP hit 3 value plays on the same 3 players. We put them all together. We made racks yesterday or today. 34.5 units profit in VIP. Pretty good day. Went pretty light with the bets, but strategies elite, cannot be beaten. Quick recap. I did have a couple of losers, and I put these on before the game started. Nick Richards took his rebounds and assists. That was awful. Played enough minutes, but I also picked KD to get rebounds. I don't know what I was doing picking Nick Richards. I took Jake LaRavia over 7.5 points. I got baited by his recent performance and all the extra game time he was supposed to have. He played a lot of minutes. He did okay. He smashed his PRA, but his points prop, he did just fall short because he shot awfully. And then I bet on Bryce since about 12.5 points. This line moved to 10.5, so a lot of people did cash this, but I was expecting a lot better from Bryce. I expected a bounce back, and he did shoot a lot better, but I don't know. That game, it didn't look like Utah was tanking. Like, they had their starters on late. Bryce didn't get a run, so that sucked. But the winners that we did cash on, Kevin Durant over his points, made us real sweaty. Jonas Valanciunas over 11.5 rebounds, and Najee Marshall over 17.5 points. Najee Marshall, probably the best bet that I've ever done this week, but he killed it. We hit Stephon Castle over his PRA. We hit a Kevin Durant value play at plus 275. Najee Marshall at 350. Jonas at 350. Then we hit the Trixie, which is a combo of all these guys, 31 units. You know what? Screw it. I don't normally do this on YouTube because I'm worried about accounts getting banned, but I'll show you. Take a look at this. This is the behemoth that won today. This is my personal slip, but I got slips from other people who bet a little bit more than I did. Some people won 8,000, 12,000. Like, it's crazy just from this one parlay, but we pretty much hit all 3 of these value plays that you can see up here. We hit all 3 of them, played those at half a unit, and then we ran this combo. And yeah, glorious. $100 into 3,000 for me. I'll take it, but look, it's a new day, new opportunity. Let's get into it. Let's start talking about the picks that I have today, and let's talk about whatever you guys want to talk about too. But first, I want to say hi to the chat. Kai, what's up? I see you. First one in here. Appreciate you filling up the comment section. I do have slow mode activated purely because if it's not there, there is no way in hell I'll be able to keep it with the chat. So if you're going to say something, put some time and effort into it, because you're going to have to wait a little bit of time before you can say it enough. So like the video, people. I see it. Like it. Mason Plumlee got a double-double. I know. I was looking at it. I was like, what is this? Nick Richards doing nothing. Plumlee was an absolute animal. That Najee play was fantastic. Pure volume right there. If they're going to run with such, well, I don't think they have a choice. They don't have enough people on that roster. But yeah, if he's going to run a lot of minutes, I'm going to like that, provided the matchup is okay. Castle didn't have enough rebounds and assists. I know he smashed it on the point side of thing. I was just checking the box score. I didn't watch that, but Lockie got 8K profit on VI picks today. Bang! Let's go. Nick Richards sold me on a parlay with Val boards, Mobley boards, hard assists, Edie boards. Oof. Yeah, there's some good looks. Some good looks. And Kai, $0 into $0. Nice. Didn't lose a thing. Hasn't lost money gambling in weeks. Well done. What's cooking, Jason? Good to see you in here, my man. Well, let's talk about these picks. I'll get back to the chat in the comment section once I get through them. Gone a little bit light today, so far anyway, because typically after such a really big day in terms of profits, the following day I tend to give a little bit back. So I want to try to avoid that. So I'm going to somewhat light with it. But let's talk about the plays. The first play that I have is Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm taking him over 28.5 points. This line probably moves to 29.5, and I'd still take it there, but that's probably as high as I would go. So for Giannis, I didn't do too much research into this purely because it's somewhat of a system play for me. So Giannis has versed the Orlando Magic 3 times this season, and in every single one of these games, I bet the over in his points. And it's pretty much this. Giannis had covered, like prior to this season, Giannis had covered this line against the Orlando Magic in 5 consecutive games, purely because of the way that Orlando has been playing Magic for the last few years. They don't send doubles. They limit spot-up shooters. They pretty much force Giannis to shoot a lot of mid-ranges. They're going to give him open mid-range shots, but they're not going to let teams take threes. And they're going to do their best to limit points at the rim. Whereas with Giannis, they just leave him wide open at the mid-range and dare him to shoot. And Giannis has been making a ton of mid-ranges this season. He actually shoots mid-range shots at a higher percentage than a lot of your favorite players, which is wild. But I do like Giannis, again, to go over this points prop. 37-41, the game where he went under. 26 points in only 30 minutes. That was a 29-point blowout. So I don't think we see a blowout here. 6.5-point spread. Giannis probably plays about 34 minutes. That's what he's doing every night now. And I think he continues to eat. So he's been getting very close to it. So if this wasn't the Orlando Magic, I probably wouldn't even look at it. But knowing Giannis and his history against the Orlando Magic, how they're going to play him, I do like Giannis to score today. So that's the first pick that I have for you guys. Giannis over his points prop, 28.5. I'd play it up to 29.5. The next one, I told you guys a couple of days ago, the Lakers hate's going to stop, and it's stopping right here. So I'm taking the King. I'm taking LeBron James, and he's been scoring the ball extremely well, covering this line. But I'm actually taking his rebounds today. And his rebounds, the hit rate, you're probably thinking, like, why? What's going on? Like, even if you look at LeBron with Luka, he's only hit this line in 5 out of 10 games, but he is averaging 9.6 rebounds. So in the right matchup, LeBron's going to rebound like an absolute beast. And I think he's got a good matchup today. I was actually tossing and turning between LeBron and Luka. Who do I take for boards? Because I do like both of them. The whole thought process here, obviously they got Jackson Hayes at the center spot, not a big rebounder whatsoever. Boston tend to play a 5-out defense. Sometimes it's a 4-out defense, but for the most part, it's 5-out. And they shoot a whole lot of three-pointers. And when you're shooting a whole lot of three-pointers, there's longer rebounds. The rebounds tend to hit the weak side. Like, it's perfect for someone like LeBron James and for Luka Doncic to get some boards, especially when you have a center like Jackson Hayes. So I was tossing up Luka, LeBron. Who do I go with? And ultimately, I just went with LeBron. Hopefully, the King doesn't let me down. If you look historically, decent 14 rebounds in their blowout win against the Boston Celtics early Jan. That's their only game this season. Last season, he played them once. He had 9 rebounds in 37 minutes. Pretty much weak side defenders is what you want to target against high volume 3-point shooting teams. And that's exactly what the Boston Celtics are today. We've got a 7-point spread. The Lakers have been playing great. Hopefully this game's close and LeBron plays at least 35 minutes. And then I'm sure he's going to get these rebounds. I also love that this is plus money. 8.5 at plus money. I've been winning quite a few plus money plays lately. Like, initially, I was like, what was it? Probably 3 or 4 days ago, I was like, the books are really starting to sharpen up. A lot of the plays that I would like, they'd either be like minus 130, minus 140. And then I started playing those ones. And even though they win, you don't get as much profit back. And you really start to feel that over time. Whereas there were a lot of plays where I liked that are like plus money. And I was thinking the books are against me here. But I started to play the plus money plays a little bit more. And it's actually working quite well for me. So LeBron James over 8.5 boards at plus money. Give me that. You actually get worse odds if you take his double-double, so don't do that. Just like if you want to take LeBron at 10 rebounds, you'll get better odds for LeBron to get 10 boards than you would for LeBron to get a double-double. So don't anybody bet on a double-double for LeBron James. Just bet on the boards. But yeah, I do like him for over 8.5. I do have a few leans, but I'm sure you guys probably would have spoke about it in the chat. So I'm going to jump back into the chat, see what else you guys are talking about. If I see anything worth calling out, I shall call that thing out. We can talk about it. I'll pop it up on the screen. Let's go. Dame Lillard points versus Orlando. Yeah, I like this one too. I think Dame to score some points is a good one. I'm probably not going to put a unit on it, but I like it. I'll probably run Dame as a value play. I've got an idea in mind. So Dame hasn't been playing the most consistent as of late. I will say that. That's the one call out. But he has played consistently well against Orlando. 3 games against him, 29 points per game. His line's at 23.5. The matchup is somewhat difficult, but they don't have Jalen Suggs out there, so it's not as difficult as it may appear. The challenge you might find with Dame is probably the pace of the game, if it's real slow, and also the fact that they don't allow too many 3-pointers. So Dame's going to have to live at the free throw line if he's in order to cover this. But at 23.5, I think he can get it done. I'd look at games with Kyle Kuzma. That's what probably matters to me. He's over this line in 5 out of 10, still averaging 27. So in the right matchup, he can still get stuff done. He's scoring most of his points in the pick and roll. Orlando, they're below average, I would say. But he's had good matchups. Atlanta, Houston, who are not great pick and roll defenses. And he's actually gone under in those. So it may not be play type dependent here for Dame. It's probably Dame dependent. But I do support that. I think it's a good look, Dame to go over. I like it. I think he goes over his points prop today. Let me say that. What's your reaction to the Joker's ridiculous box score? Look, that's what the Joker does. Like, I'll tell you what, actually, you know what? This is what my first reaction when I saw it. I was like halfway through the game when I checked it, and I checked that box score to see what the hell Nick Richards was doing. And I was like, my bet's going to lose. But then I looked at the Joker, and I was like, damn, this was the most obvious play ever. Because for a long time, I've already known, but for the last few days, I've been talking about it. If I bet on somebody, they suck. Most likely, they come back and kill it. And that last game against Sacramento, I bet on Jokic to have a big rebound and assist game, and it didn't happen for me. Like, common sense says he comes back as like an absolute animal up against a weak team, and he did that today, and I completely missed it. I ran it back with Bryce Sensabaugh instead of Nikola Jokic. So that was pretty disappointing. But yeah, he's a freak. He's so good. So good. And the Denver Nuggets, they're sitting pretty well in the standings. Like, I don't think he gets another MVP. I think SGA gets it today, this season. But yeah, Jokic is an absolute monster. We got Miles Bridges under 3.5 assists. This is crazy. 3.5 seems low. But we do have Mark Williams back. So I want to look at games with LaMelo. I think Mark Williams is going to play. It says out here yet, but I have a feeling he might play. Let me double check. Let me check. Let me see what the hell at least RotoWire's got. Let me do a little bit of a read up. So Mark Williams is a game time decision. Ruled out against the Cavs, but that was a back-to-back game, so there's a chance he plays this one. But let's have a look at games with and without Mark, and we'll talk about it. So let's assume Mark Williams is out. So if it's Miles Bridges with LaMelo, no Mark Williams, under this in 13 out of 16 games. If Mark Williams plays, Bridges, it's almost a 50% hit rate, averaging 3.8 assists. He's up against the Brooklyn Nets, though. The Brooklyn Nets do give up a lot of assists right under the basket. So my thought process for this play for Miles Bridges, I would take the under if Mark Williams is ruled out. If Mark Williams plays, and there's a chance that he could go over. That's what I'll say about that. But I see what you're doing. NRL picks part of VIP. Yes, they are. But we're in the first week of NRL. I thought about it, and I was like, I don't want to be a degenerate, just bet on it because I'm excited for it. So probably won't bet on the NRL this week. I'll just watch, see what the hell's going on. Kind of serious about making profit on everything to do with VIP. So I just didn't want to be a degen and put some stuff down. But for next week, definitely. Most games will have a bet down. Nice background. I think it sucks. I think the background sucks. I think I'm going to do a better job. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I want to, I want to improve it. Thoughts on Giannis assists? Yes, I think this is a great play. I think while we're talking about it, this is actually one of the value plays that I have on Giannis. I pretty much got him to go over his points and under his assists, and I'm looking at his under and assists for all the reasons that you brought up, Taylor. 43% of his assists come from above the break, and the Magic give up the fewest assists above the break. The Magic just give up the second fewest assists in general. Giannis also has a history of killing them when it comes to scoring, which I showed you, but he also has a history of not getting the assists. So pretty much rolling with history today. I'm taking Giannis over his points, Giannis under his assists. You'll probably get plus 300 for that, depending on what book you use. So great look, Taylor. I'm completely on board, and there's a value play for you. Doncic triple-double, potentially. He could get there. I don't know how I would stake that, though, up against the Celtics. Has Doncic, he's had one triple-double as a Laker, I believe. He's had one. Which game was it? Has he had one? It was against Dallas. Yeah. Against Dallas, he had a triple-double, but I don't think he's had one since. So the assists have been, Luke is a little bit hard to bet on. unless you're taking like PRAs or something. I don't know if he gets triple-double today against Boston. Might be tough because you got to share the ball with LeBron. I think they both can get close, though. I like Lillard assists. Dame at 5.5. The hit rate is nice. Dame's actually had some success getting some dimes against them, though, which is nice because Dame probably opposite to Giannis. Giannis gets a lot of his assists above the break, whereas Dame gets a lot of his assists below around the basket, and a lot of it is to Giannis. So Dame to go over his assists is not a bad look. The issue for me is at the odds. The odds aren't great. -130. So you're not seeing a lot of good profit on it. I'd like to see more certainty in a bet if I was taking it at that. I apologize. I just got to smash some, what am I having here? Some creatine. For those of you who have ever lifted weights in your life, you'd know what creatine is. I've just started. I'm trying to anyway, and my body is falling apart. So taking all the supplements I can. Josh Giddey assists, but also just PRA in general. I looked at this because Josh Giddey's been an absolute machine. He's been a wagon, an absolute wagon. That's his points. That's his assists. That's his rebounds. The PRA's been looking great because he's been scoring. Up against Miami, he covered his PRA last time against them. I get it. I think it's a good look. It's one that I strongly considered. I'm thinking why did the only reason I didn't take it's like I'm just waiting for him to fall. Like I feel like I might have missed the trend of Josh Giddey being an absolute beast because they don't really move his lines. They keep it at the same place. But yeah, I think it's a good look. His matchup is not too bad. His matchup is okay. We've got a 4-point spread here. Chicago have been quietly competitive. I think ever since they dropped Vucevic, like they've been playing so good. So I like the Josh Giddey look. I'm down with that. Does Draymond PRA continue to go green tonight? A lot of people have been betting on Draymond. I haven't been. Let's take a look at Draymond, see what's cooking here. So his PRA, he's hitting 5 straight games. Can he go green again? 13.5. Up against Detroit. Had 9 PRA against Detroit in 32 minutes last time. 5 rebounds, 4 assists. He didn't score a point. That's what's happening there. So rebounds and assists. Actually, this is just rebounds and assists. What am I talking about? There's his PRA. 5. My bad. 5 straight games he's gone over his PRA. No, sorry. 5 straight games over his rebounds and assists. 6 straight games over his rebounds and assists. Yeah, could he go over his PRA? Well, he's got a difficult matchup to score. I will say that. Detroit limits spot-up shooting quite well. I think Steph Curry actually has a good scoring game. So maybe the rebounds and assists for Draymond could be the look that I'd be thinking of, even though he didn't do completely well last time. What's his assist line at? 6.5 assists against the Pistons. Yeah, it's not too bad. The Pistons do limit assists down low. So Draymond's a no for me. I'd have to absolutely research it properly, but yeah, not something that I'm excited about. Siakam for his PRA, Nesmith for his points. So this is a tricky game. Pacers Hawks, because they just played the other day, and it was a close game. Indiana lost that game, and they were favored to win. Haliburton was out. Haliburton might be in today. It could be tricky. I was just thinking through like what the adjustments could be made, because a lot of times when there's a set like this, you got a back-to-back set against a team. Sometimes like the teams really switch it up and make adjustments as if they're playing in the playoffs or something, and they tend to shut some things down. So Siakam, he played extremely well. What do you have, like 35 points in that last game against Atlanta, and they still lost? Yeah, he had 35. He was killing them. 18 shots, extremely efficient. But I'd want to call out that his percentages in that game were ridiculous. I don't think he has it that easy again. So I think there's an adjustment. But does that mean he goes under? That I don't know. The PRA line is quite high. He's averaging 32 PRA on the season. We're getting a 34.5, 33.5 on Bet365. But yeah, line's a little bit high. The matchup is soft though, so I get it. I wouldn't say not to bet on Pascal Siakam, but I would like a bit more confidence around it. That's all. And Nesmith for his points. Nesmith, 21 points. It's been pretty good. I think I would wait for the Benedict Mathurin news to come out. See if Benedict Mathurin's playing, because Mathurin's been out for a couple of games now. What's it? 3 games? 4? Yeah, 4 games. He's been out for 4 games, and Naismith has seen like 33 to 35 minutes without him. With Mathurin in the lineup, Naismith will see high 20s. So, yeah, I'd wait to see on the Mathurin news who might win the MVP. I think SGA will win it. As much as Jokic may deserve it, SGA deserves it too. And I think there's going to be voter fatigue. We've got Nick Claxton over 2.5 assists. That's an interesting look. Let me see why. Nick Claxton just had 10 assists against the Golden State Warriors, which is crazy. Up against Charlotte. The matchup's not too bad, I guess, 4 assists. He's gone under in his only 2 games against them this season, if that means anything. So I need to know what the angle is. I don't know what the angle is here for Nick Claxton, outside of like recent hit rate. Other than that, I can't see why we'd be taking it. Tyrese Haliburton over assists. Yes, look, I'm down for that. But the question mark is his health. I think it's a hip problem or something. Like, is there going to be any limitations on Tyrese Haliburton, any restrictions? That's all I'd be considering. Got the sweep happening. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Collins' points and rebounds. I was considering his points and rebounds. I was more so considering his rebounds, knowing Miami, but points and rebounds makes a lot of sense. Zach Collins been scoring quite well. 13.5 seems quite low. Like, you can see when he started getting extra minutes, right? Started to go crazy. Then he versed Orlando. Only had 12 minutes against Orlando. What was that all about? Did he get injured? Whatever it was, the reason why he scored 12 points, make sure that that reason won't happen again here against Miami. And then I think the points are a good look. The rebounds can be somebody inconsistent, though. Josh Giddey steals a whole lot of boards. I'll say that. Jimmy Butler over his assists. What do we say about Jimmy? Jimmy at 5.5. Let's look at his games with Steph Curry. He's hitting 5 of 11, averaging 5.4. The odds are pretty much based on his averages. So unless there's something in the matchup that you could call out here, Detroit, 6th fewest assists in the league, 8th fewest assists against Jimmy Butler's position. So you could argue matchup is probably not the most favorable one. So, yeah, I don't know what the angle is there. I can see him going over, but I can't explain why he would. Every time you get a haircut, he balls out. Who are we talking about balling out? Man, I should have kept up. Any picks on the Nets game? No, that Nets game's a little bit doo-doo. Until I know if Mark Williams is going to play, that is. Did you nearly take Nurkic today? I did, and I did strongly consider Nurkic, but yeah, I just wasn't sure about his minutes. But he played way more minutes than I thought he would. He was a beast today, so I missed that opportunity. Trae Young to get 10 assists. Trae Young will get 10 assists for sure. His lines are like 11.5. So, yeah, Trae Young should get 10 assists. So, I took Trae Young over 11.5 assists in the last matchup against the Pacers. That was at plus money. Now we're getting 11.5 at minus 135. So, I'm not going to touch that. But Trae Young should dime up. We've got a high total again, fast-paced teams. How does he not get the assists? That's what I'm saying. I like CJ under 25.5 PRA with Amon defending him and Amon rebounds again. So was that the matchup? Was it Armin Thompson defending him? I guess it makes sense. They had Tari Eason on Zion. Let's have a look at CJ. He had 17 PRA that game, 5 for 15, 13 points, 2 boards, 4 assists. And if that's true and Amon Thompson was all over him like a rash, then 25.5, that looks like a good look. I didn't look into that. I was actually thinking about that this game because it's another one of those back-to-back sets. I'm thinking what adjustments would be made. I was close to betting Zion to go over his points. You know, Zion took 15 layups in that last game. He only made 5 of them. He missed 10 layups. Easily could have had 25 to 30 points, but he only finished on 20. So, Cam Thomas over his PRA. Let's go. I'll be back in a sec. You guys chat amongst yourselves. I'm sure you can hear that. I just got to go settle the baby down. I'll be back in 1 minute. The joy of live streams. All right, we back. I couldn't get him to sleep, so yeah, settle down, boy. We're working over here. Cam Thomas, let's talk about the PRA real quick. If I can't settle this guy down, I might have to shut this stream down. But let's see. Hopefully he settles. Cam Thomas been balling. I think the only concern I have with Cam Thomas is the minutes. Is he going to play the time? Because at the moment, this Brooklyn Nets team, everybody's getting a chance to play. So that's my only concern with Cam Thomas. The matchup, it's an average matchup as well. It's not a great one that I'd like to target. Like the Golden State Warriors was a pretty decent matchup for him, whereas this one against Charlotte, it's probably average. Kelly Olynyk to get some boards. Do I think Kelly gets some rebounds? What are we looking at? So 6 flat, I'm assuming that's a prize picks line, but either way, line's at 5.5. He had 5 boards against the Rockets in the last game. Only 10 rebound chances. The odds not great for it either to get 6 boards. So no, it's a no for me. I wouldn't be interested in Kelly Olynyk. Banchero under 5.5 assists. Let me take a look. 5.5 seems quite high. Oh shit! Do you want to take him?
I don't want to, but I thought I'd help you.
It's a live stream too. All right, we back and we baby free. What was I talking about? Paolo Banchero, 5.5 assists. Okay, so he hasn't been getting it done. Under 5.5 assists. It's juice to the gills, so I wouldn't even consider this most of the time. But the under does make sense. Under in all games against the Bucks. Taking a lot of shots. But these were games without Franz in the lineup, but still. Yeah, the under 5.5 assists, I agree with. It's just something I wouldn't bet on because the odds are pretty bad. So I'd pass on that. Tari Easton over 13.5 points. Yeah, I was close to running it because I had a value playing Tari Easton to score, what was it, 15 points? Yeah, I had him on 15 points last time. His line was like 11. But again, I'm just worried about the adjustment. Tari Easton killed them. They were leaving him wide open on the weak side so much in that game. I don't know if they do that again. Like, that's my only hesitation around it. But yeah, Tari Easton's a good look. He's got a great matchup. Excellent matchup. Yves Missi under 7.5 boards. He only had 4 rebounds versus the Rockets last time. Went back and rewatched every board he grabbed and they fell into his hands. 4 boards is likely his ceiling. That's a big call. Let's take a look. And this is the difficulty on betting these back-to-back sets. So he did only have 4 rebounds from 13 chances. It's very difficult for him because for a lot of this game, the Rockets were actually playing Steven Adams and Şengün at the same time. So severely undersized Yves Missi. 13 rebound chances is not great for him either. Like, check this out. If we look at games where he has, let's go 15, between 10 and 15 rebound chances, yeah, he's under this line in 15 out of 21 games. So he's only averaging 6 boards per game, so 7.5. The under on that, I think that's a pretty good look. This is a good look. It's pretty tough to get good odds for it outside of like DraftKings, Bet365. They got pretty good odds for it, but I'd support the Missy one. Good look. Do I bet on college hoops? Sometimes, but NBA is really the priority. And I look into college when there isn't any NBA on. But what was I thinking? Capture the flag. What's his name? Cooper. I was looking at his over and rebounds and assists in this upcoming game. So that's one that I considered. Thoughts on running back Şengün PR? I considered it. I think to rub it in my face, he probably gets 15 rebounds today. But no, I thought about it after watching that game. The assists looked like a good angle. Points are a good angle. Points and assists I considered. But then I was like, nah, if I'm 50-50 on it, after I just had a great day, like, I'm not going to be overconfident and just like pump all these bets out. So yeah, I'm going to be a little bit more conservative after having a big day. Some of these games are a little bit weird too. Like 2 back-to-back sets in the one slate. It's a bit strange. I don't know how it's going to happen. You have the best Discord around. I'm not glazing. I just want to give you your flowers. Now here's the glaze. Smash the like button. Let's go. Smash it. Let's get it. Jimmy Buckets points. Jimmy up against Detroit. Yeah, 19.5. Seems a little bit high, though. The matchup for Jimmy, it's not a great matchup for him to score some points, though. They don't allow many points around the basket. They do allow a lot of free throws, though, so Jimmy should get to the free throw line. Based on the matchup data, this is honestly a good game for Steph Curry. I'm not betting on that, but he's got a pretty good matchup. I made $500 on the Manly vs. Cowboys game tonight. Burn sub, Homoli. Man, that would have been easy then. They smashed them. That was one-way traffic. That little line opened at plus 100. Yeah, these lines move quick, and I feel like there's more and more people like smashing the opening lines. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you don't win a lot or win often or you're betting small amounts, you can smash opening lines and nothing will really happen. But when you start winning a lot more and the amount of money you win is important to you, you're going to have to like second guess whether you bet an opening line or not, because chances are you could lose your account. And if you lose your account, like, you run out of options. Take it from me. Like, I got to send my bets to somebody else to put them down for me because I can't bet them myself. Jalen Duren over his PRA. I don't like Jalen Duren's matchup today. Like, the only thing I would take for Jalen Duren in this type of matchup is his rebounds. His rebound line's at 11.5. I feel like it's a little bit high for a Jalen Duren, but it makes sense. This Warriors team, not a great rebounding team. Third most rebounds to centers, yada, yada, yada. He did have 12 rebounds against them last time. Jalen Duren played 31 minutes against them last time, which means Jalen Duren didn't get into foul trouble. So I feel like the line for Jalen Duren is just right for the boards. Points and assists. I don't know if this is the matchup for it. Like, I feel like his lines are pretty spot on. I think he gets close. And the reason why I say that is a lot of the time when I pick the bets, in my mind, like, I don't want to pick a line that's probably off by 1 point. Like, I'm trying to pick players who are going to kill it and absolutely smash it. That's what I'm always hopeful for anyway. Josh Hart had me calling him Giddey all night. Oh, my Lord. Pick'ems, please. No, I can't do pick'ems. I don't have my stuff set up for that right now. I actually forgot about it, to be honest with you. But there's a lot of, again, pick'ems are hard to do purely because there's a lot of lineup changes you need to wait on. Like, it'd be very irresponsible to put so many bets down before lineups are even confirmed. That's what I'll say. What's good, my man? Cam Thomas, yeah, we've spoken about what our ladder tray assists. It's always worth a ladder. I think 13, 15 assists, definitely on the cards. Capable for sure. We lucky for the Durant over 25.5. Yeah, look, you could say that was lucky, even though it was sweaty, right? But I think we just need to keep this in mind. When we look at the data for players, we look at what they've done in the last 10 games, 15 games on the season. But all the data we're looking at is when the game's finished. Like, we're not looking at what point in the game do they hit their mark, right? We bet on Kevin Durant to score 25 points today. He had like 20 points in the fourth or something. Like, he needed some clutch shit to happen in order to cash that. But he finishes with 29. So when you go back in a couple of weeks' time and look at the data, you're just going to see, oh, KD scored 29 against this team in 30-something minutes. Like, it's going to be nothing. So I wouldn't worry about when players hit their prop. It's about whether they do or they don't. That sweat and that anxiety you feel, that is you being overly invested in the game, which is why one of the great tips for managing your mindset when it comes to sports betting is don't watch the game. Place the bets and just leave it. I know it's a weird thing to say because a lot of people probably started betting to make the experience more interesting. But if you're serious about the betting side of things, like, place your bet, don't watch it. Like, review the numbers later. Like, that always helps. Siakam under his 34.5 PRA. He just went off, but it's too high. And I agree. I think that's a good look. Like, for the most part, that PRA is too high. And he just had an outlier game against Atlanta where he absolutely murdered them. I get it. It's too high, but he did just go off. So you've got two narratives to play around with there. It depends on which side of the fence you're on. Love from the UK. I didn't bet the 1,000, but took all your picks yesterday. My personal play of the Jokic triple-double and bet 100. You know how it went. Much appreciated. Let's go. Steph over points. Absolutely. Yeah, I like Steph today. Let me show you why. His points line is quite high, 27.5. But Steph Curry scoring a lot of points in the pick and roll, scoring a lot of points above the break. Both of those things, delicious against the Detroit Pistons. Jalen Duren will be in drop coverage, and Steph Curry should be able to cook him, provided he can get around the screens. That makes a ton of sense. Eamon PRAs, and I considered him as well. He had a good game against them last time. What the hell is it? I'm losing my mind. Yeah, he had a strong game in that last one against the Pels. 34 PRA, but I think he did have an overperformance in points, 10 for 13, overperformance in rebounds. Didn't get the assist. The potentials were there, but they were missing a lot of shots. So the opportunity to get the PRAs there. He's expected to play, 36 minutes in this game? Played 38 in the last one, so he should be able to cover that. Eamon Thompson. Nemhard assists if Haliburton's out. So one thing that you could do, in one of the guys I talk to every day about bets did manage to do this, not intentionally, by accident, but you could take Andrew Nemhard assist right now, and if Tyrese Haliburton is out, then the line's going to move like crazy, and you get insane value. So his line's at 5.5. This line is probably going to be at 7.5, 8.5 if Tyrese Haliburton doesn't play. So you could bet Nemhard assist right now, one, and then just roll with it, even if Haliburton plays, because there's a chance he can cover the 5.5 without Hallie anyway. Like, that's just how this matchup is going to look. But if Tyrese Haliburton is out, suddenly you got insane value. But yeah, I'm not going to do that, but that's an option for you. What do I think of Peyton Pritchard? Oh, he's a tough guy to bet on up against the Lakers. Peyton had just been going off. The Boston Celtics could get some reinforcements back. I really didn't look into the Boston Celtics too much in this game because a couple of game time decisions. Kristaps, Drew Holiday, Sam Hauser. I don't know who's playing, so I didn't waste any time looking into that game. I wouldn't like Draymond assist with Pods out. That's a fair argument. Is Pods a game time decision, or is he definitely out? That I'm not sure of. Hit my first 6-man parlay for 25x. 3 of the legs were from you. Hey, let's go. Congratulations. That's cool, man. Dyson Daniels over his rebounds and assists. A lot of people have been betting this since Jalen Johnson went down. 10.5. He had 9 in the last game. What's interesting is the Atlanta Hawks won that last game. So if you think that the paces come correct and they bounce back, there might be less rebounds and assists for Dyson Daniels to go around. So I just say consider that. Good morning. Let's go. We all for Curry points. Yes, sir. Let's do it. Draymond over his assists and rebounds. We touched on that. I don't mind the assists and rebounds. Cam Thomas. There's a lot of people saying Cam Thomas PRA in this chat right now. So I don't mind it, but the minutes is a concern for me. Tatum's assists. The Lakers make key players pass. There's potential. I don't know how the Lakers are going to play Jason Tatum, though. Jason Tatum also takes really bad shots, to be honest. So, but he also struggled against the Lakers last time, earlier this season. That was in the blowout loss. He could come correct. He could bounce back. But again, we don't know who's playing for the Boston Celtics. So I'm not even considering a lot of these. Cam Thomas over 3.5 assists. I like it. You know, it's interesting, Cam Thomas. I think his coach came out in the media and said, we want Cam Thomas to get more involved in the passing game. 2 games, 6 and 7 assists in both of those games. Now he's up against the Hornets. It's an average matchup, but he had 12 and 9 potential assists. Had good hit rates on those. Let me just take a look at something. Games when he has between 9 and 12. Yeah, he hasn't had many games where he's had that many potential assists. So we're seeing a very small sample size of Cam Thomas, the creator. What's the game total at 213? So the books are expecting this to be a low-scoring game too, but plus money, it's not a bad look, Cam Thomas to go over. Let me roll through. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen because as I share my screen, it takes me so much longer to get through these comments. I'm just going to blow myself up on this big screen, and then I'll just let you know what I'm thinking because I'm also getting a little bit tired. All right. Where we at? Okay, Franz over his points. What do I think about Franz over his points? I've got no thoughts on Franz to go over his points. Who's he playing today again? Against the Bucks. Actually, on Franz, I like him to get his assist today, 3.5. I don't mind that. 3.5 is too low. up against the Bucks. He should be able to get three and a half assists. Points at 24.5. The reason why I'm a little bit hesitant is because the Bucks, where they are good defensively, is like within the paint, and Franz likes to drive the ball a lot. And if he's not making layups, it's probably going to be difficult for him. I will say that. 3 personal fouls in the first half for Zach Collins. Is that what happened? There you go. A bit of foul trouble for sweet Zach. I gotcha. All right. A lot of people. Am I going to bet on Malik Beasley? No, I'm not. Bam over points. I can't bet on Scam out of bio anymore. Like, I don't have a ban list. Miami, I can't do it. I can't bet on Miami, especially with these lineup changes. Nuh-uh. Oh, you're talking about Jokic and his haircut. I get you. Yes, I support that. We got the baby alert. Yes. La old man over his PRA. I think they double Luka. I don't know. They don't normally double Luka. That's the thing. So I think Luka and LeBron are going to do a lot. Like, just based on how that roster is built. That roster is pretty much built for Luka and LeBron to do everything. They should be racking up all the stats. And everyone will see the stats and be like, how good are these two together? Like, that's what the whole design is there for. You got like 9 role players and then those two. All right. Young Daft wants locks. Nah, I don't know what that man wants. Feed that baby, man. Do I think CJ goes over? I think he goes under. I'm leaning to the under. Şengün rebounds. Yeah, what's a great matchup? Like, I'm telling you now, he's probably going to get 12 rebounds. I don't know if I could bet it. What was you? Oh, you heard the cries? Right. I'm assuming. Homeboy who faded all your picks yesterday. Were you at, my boy? Hey, there's always somebody out there. Like I just won 34 units yesterday, and someone will still say it's bullshit, or still come back and say you lost me money today. Like, yeah, some people just be wild. That means it's a winning day, right? When the baby comes out, potentially. Luka 3's over. I think he's going to take him, but I'm trying to put myself on a ban on betting 3-point props at the moment. But I think Luka scores. I think he gets over the points. Luka for 30, I don't mind. Yep, I'm on board with the Banchero under assists. He just wanted to be on stream. I know he stopped immediately. As soon as my wife rocked up, that boy shut his mouth. Yeah, Şengün's been scoring after that break. It's also Fred VanVleet, I also have a 3-year-old and completely understand you. Yet you find time and put in effort to make us some bucks. Hopefully one day we can make this a consistent source of income over a job. I don't know if it's going to be possible, if I'm being honest with you. Like, on my old YouTube channel, I was getting more views than anyone on NBA picks for a couple of weeks. Like, I was dominating the space. And even though I was getting like 15, 20,000 views every single day, what I realized, like, the money was never going to be more than my job. But the money was still pretty decent. Like, I could get my wife to start working, and if I do well on YouTube, then potentially we don't have to pay the bills. So hopefully, we'll see. We will see. Last time I took Banchero's assist, I took the under and got burned. Yeah, that's the risk with that guy. I don't know what he's going to do. VIP, let's go. Woke up this morning a happy man. I'm happy every day. I just like the journey, but winning the money, it's also pretty good. Live every Friday morning. I'm not going to do it on purpose. I'm not scheduling these lives in intentionally. Like, I just went live 5 minutes before, purely because I was like, do I make a video, then I have to edit it, or should I just go live? And went live yesterday and it went quite well, so I thought I'd do it again. And I think maybe you guys get more value out of the live. It's probably more chaotic. It's not organized. I clearly am not, but you guys seem to love it. So it's just a different way for us to interact and make content. So I'm all about that. LeBron James over his points and assists. I don't like LeBron's assists today. Points and rebounds is what I'd be thinking for LeBron. But yeah, I'm just rolling with the boards. Will you start making videos for other sports? Probably not. Like, I've tried it, and like, when I do sports outside of basketball, it requires a lot more extra effort. I probably have to use different tools. There's a lot more extra effort. I know I'll get less views. So I figure, like, what's the point? I just stick to basketball content. I don't mind that. So it's one of my favorite sports. So yeah, I'll do NBA stuff. I'll do WNBA stuff after the NBA season as well. Can we trust Trey to get 8 assists? Yeah, but you're probably going to get terrible odds for 8 assists. I don't know why you would even consider that. Even this, over the 10.5 assists, that is a lock. I don't do locks. I don't do locks around here. It's not something I say. Hey, don't thank me for the KD pick. That was like a real casual one. Like, I'd barely use any data to find that. And I think a lot of people bet on KD anyway. So I'm not taking the credit for that. I'm just somebody who bet it. Miles Turner over 27 PRA. Gave it a bump myself. He's been hot since the 20th of February. He has been pretty good, Miles Turner. He's a bit of a sweat, though, because even in this last game that he played against Atlanta, he started off quite slow. Finished with 17 points, but yeah, he got 9 boards, which is out of the ordinary for him. So yeah, I'm not about that. College basketball today, ladies and gents. Auburn, Chad Baker, Mazzara over his points. There you go, betting fan. There you go, my man, delivering the goods. Let's go. What do we have? Yesterday sucked duck nuts. Either done by 1 point or half a point. Such is life. What do I think about Porzingis? I don't even know if he's going to play. Like, I've got no idea. So I wouldn't even consider betting on someone if I don't know where they're going to play. And this is going to be a trend that you're probably going to find if I'm going live and you're asking me questions. Like, if the player is a game time decision, I probably haven't looked into it. Like, if I'm being honest with you, it actually saves me a lot of time not having to research every single game. I kind of just go on RotoWire. I check to see who's playing, who's not, who we're waiting on. And if there are important players that we're waiting on to determine their status, I don't even bother looking into the game because it changes the outcome of everything. So Şengün over his assists, I like it. It makes sense. Stop gatekeeping where you get your swag from. Looking fresh. Yeah, it's weird. I haven't bought new clothes for a long time. For those of you who have kids, you're probably in a similar situation. Like, my daughter's almost 4 years old. So in the last 4 years, I've barely bought anything. Like, I bought these shoes. What's funny is I bought these shoes, got really excited about it, and then I wore them once, and I was like, these are uncomfortable as hell. So now it's a background for my YouTube videos. But in terms of my clothes, yeah, I haven't really bought anything for quite some time. But yeah, I think this shirt's getting a bit too small for me, if I'm being honest with you. Can we get a big parlay today? No, not today. Today's not the day for it. I just had a big day yesterday. After a big winning day, it's tough for me to win the next day, so I'm going light. What else we got? Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey should eat. You had Durant, RA. Yeah, Durant was a beast today. What a freak. You've been on fire this week. You and your Land Your Bet live streams have been fun to watch. Yeah, I need to get back onto them. I'll probably be on his live stream tomorrow. I'll probably try to anyway. We'll see. See what my day looks like. Do I like live bets? That's why I watch the game sometimes. I don't do any live betting. Here in Australia, live betting is a bit painful. You have to like call up, do a code, and then whilst you're doing all the verifications, like the odds change, something happens in the game. So yeah, it's difficult. I probably wouldn't even trust myself to bet live, to be honest. Tingis, Tobias, first quarter points. They do. That both of those guys are hit rate monsters in the first quarter. No denying that. Scanning through the chat, there's a lot of stuff in CJ McCollum. Yep, the under is probably the way I'd be leaning. Kristaps is playing. Luke is there. They like going against each other. When I last checked, Kristaps he was questionable to play, was he not? Him and Drew Holiday, questionable. They're saying Porzingis could miss his 5th consecutive contest due to a non-COVID illness. Although he seemed optimistic about his chances. He said that on Instagram. So, okay, we're probably leaning to Kristaps Porzingis playing in this game. But now you got to think about it. If Porzingis is not going to be 100%, Probably going to be a little bit sick. He's excited to play, but yeah, there's probably a whole lot of narratives in that. I'll probably bet, if I had to, I'd probably bet Kristaps Porzingis unders, whatever that is. He's got an 18.5 point line. Yeah, I'd be betting Kristaps unders in this game. He did score 22 last game against the Lakers, but this is a different version of the Lakers. So that's what I'm thinking anyway. I made myself $46 off 15, so not making huge money, but enough to bet on the UFC tonight. Hey, as long as you're winning something, you know. Here's a value play from Richard Trainer. Jay Giddey, over in points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 420. Oh, that's crazy. I was actually thinking of betting that exact bet earlier. And I still might. I might bet that tomorrow. I'll put it in a set of my value plays. I'm thinking about it. Kobe White under 21.5. There's no way he gets 21. I actually thought about this. Kobe White's been killing it lately. Killing it. He's been playing so well. He's going to have the Davion Mitchell matchup. And Davion Mitchell is a dog outside. So, yeah, I'd be considering that too. Is it possible to keep your Bet365 account alive for a long time? It feels like they crack down as soon as you have a couple good days. I think there are ways, there are strategies on keeping it around, like when you place your bets, the types of bets you place. Some people like intentionally put stupid bets in, like just before a game starts to try to trick the algorithm. I don't know whether it works or not, but yeah. Like one strategy I've used in the past on Bet365 is I would like put $1,000 into it and then just intentionally lose it over a week and then start betting. It's called seasoning an account, you could say, but I guess it worked at my last account. That one was alive for a very long time. So yeah, that might be a strategy. These live streams are overpowered. Not only do you have expert insights, but also tons of others in the comments. Tell a couple and you'd likely win more than you lose. You've built a good community. Absolutely. This community is brilliant. I tell you, like, I haven't done it lately. Well, I haven't done it for a while, but I used to like check other people's YouTube channels, see what they were doing. What do the comments say? And then I realized like a lot of people don't comment on their videos anyway. Like, it wasn't very insightful, not engaging. Whereas the comments I get are crazy. Like, I can't even read them all anymore. There's too many of them. But a lot of the things that you guys say in this chat, they're pretty insightful. Like, not often do I see a bet. I look at it. I'm like, you're only betting this because of hit rate. It's stupid. Like, there's an angle here. So I get you. I get you. Sitting back, watching people comment the same thing over and over, and like, do you got to stutter? Good morning. Jakob Poeltl over 10.5 rebounds. Yeah, it is a wagon. The rebounds against the Washington Wizards is a wagon. The problem is this Raptors team, I don't know, like, what are they doing? Like, I can't trust them right now. That's like my only concern. It is a back-to-back. Is it not? Well, Jakob Poeltl, not for Jakob Poeltl. He didn't play today, so yeah, it ain't too bad. Good morning. Let's go. It's simple. When you start to appear as much as a casual in terms of playtime and betting, but after a month or two, should be good for a bit. If you win, they limit you. That's true. Like, that's what we're trying to do, right? It sucks. You finally start winning, and then they say you can't sit with us. You're welcome. Mum and Duff don't play. What team do I love in the NBA apart from the Lakers? Dallas. I like Dallas. I feel sorry for Dallas right now. I like Milwaukee. Well, I like Giannis, really. And I like Denver as well. I probably don't like teams now that I think about it. I like players. One last thing. You are an expert and you have so much insight that separates you from 90% of sports bettors. Why don't you do it full-time professionally? That's a really good question. I actually am not an expert. I'm not an expert at this. I am not as sharp as other people at this. I am engaging. I believe I'm good to watch. I'm a nice guy as well. I think that always helps. Like, I don't have a massive ego. I'm not overly defensive. But in terms of just betting, I'm honestly not that good at it. Like, I know it's crazy for me to say that. I'm better than the average person at betting. If you know that the average person is losing, I'm not losing money through gambling. I do win, that's for sure. But I'm not one of those sharp bettors. And I feel like if I was to do it full time professionally, it takes the fun out of it. It adds more stress and pressure, and I don't want to live my life that way. So, in terms of betting, that's something that I love doing. But if I was going to do anything full time and professionally, it'd probably be something around content or shows or podcasts or something like that. I think people like me for me and not just for my betting skills. And I could be wrong. Could be completely wrong. Is my public profile on Dabble? It is, but it's on Dabble Australia. So it depends what country you're in. Then you'll know how to find me or not. By the way, I was working the other day and my fiance texts me and says, babe, guess what I did? I said, what? She said, I got that subscription to that dark guy you watch every day. What? What a wife. Let's go. All right, I'm just checking the chat. Any of your codes working within Australia? Not yet. I'm in the process of nutting out a deal with Dabble in Australia. I mean, that's hasn't happened yet, but I'm trying to work on it. A lot of the Australian books don't want to work with me for some reason. Nice. Your wife bought it. Why didn't you just buy it yourself? Come on, dog. You got to support me. How did you make 25,000 this year betting if they crack down once you start winning? I use heaps of books, heaps of different books. So oftentimes, like, if I post something on Bet365, it's at -110, but it's also on FanDuel at -110, I'll try to split the money that I'm betting. Like, I wouldn't always just bet on one book, especially if I'm winning. I try to diversify that. And it's good to line shop anyway. Like, if you look at lines, see where the best price is, then eventually you'll find that you're betting on different books anyway. But if you just hammer one book and one book only, and then you start winning, that one book is going to feel it. Then that's how you can get limited. But I also, send my bets to people and they bet for me sometimes. So yeah, it's getting a bit difficult, which is, this is the whole reason. Well, not the whole reason, but part of the reason why I started like selling access to my picks was because it was getting difficult for me to bet them, for being honest with you. All right, what else we got? I'm getting fatigued, lads. They've tried to limit me, but I still keep winning. Stick to your guns. Be yourself. That's all you can do. Yeah, that's true. That's all we can do. Draymond over his PRA. The line hasn't moved. He's been going over. Yeah, the hit rate's nice, but I don't like the matchup for Draymond today. What is a good app for straight bets in the US? I can't tell you. I ain't there. I don't know what apps you have. So maybe in the chat, you guys can help your boy out over here. You should do a podcast. Would watch for sure. Yeah, I'm thinking about it, but like, I don't know how to make money off a podcast. At least YouTube will pay me if people watch. I could do a video podcast, I guess. I don't know. I've got to think through it. I don't know. At the moment, I just want to get through the NBA season, be as consistent as profitable as possible. Then we'll think about what happens after that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you keep winning money, even though you get restricted. Who are the 3 sharpest bettors you can look up? Probably a good question for the chat. I'm assuming if you guys watch me, you probably watch other people's. Man, do you even English? But yeah, I think the people in the chat probably have a better idea. What I do is I try not to look at what other bettors are doing, other content creators are doing, because like I get swayed in my mindset. Like I might think, Eamon Thompson is a great player. Then they might say something about Eamon Thompson. I'm like, oh, maybe the Eamon Thompson play is bad. And then regardless of the result, it's going to make me start thinking a certain way. So I kind of stay away from other bettors. I don't want to know what they're doing, to be honest. All right, what do we got? When I make parlays, how many people do you put in? Maximum 3. I do a max of 3 people in a parlay. I love these lives. Shit feels like class. I never went to class. I don't know what that feels like. Yo, I know it's been a long time. I remember the name. It's good to see you, man. It'd be nice if you put your favorite picks. Yeah. I know. If I was better prepared, I would do it, but it's I've only got 2 picks anyway. LeBron on boards and shit. What was the other one? I can't remember. LeBron on boards and Giannis on points. Giannis points, LeBron boards. I only watched the Daft Dog, bro. Woo, 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 woo. Let's go. Go to the closest launch. FanDuel for straight bets. Actually, I have heard that FanDuel is pretty good for straight picks. Like, they're very sharp, which is a good thing and a bad thing. You have one who's very close to you that is Rich Picks. I have heard of Rich Picks. Rich Picks seems like a nice guy. When my YouTube channel initially got taken down, he reached out to me, actually. So then I checked out his channel. I was like, yeah, he does a pretty good job. I think he's also connected with Props Madness now. So yeah, I'd say he's sharp, but I haven't watched too much of his stuff. Like I said, I need to keep my mental on point. I'm an absolute nobody, but you have excellent energy, and we're talking about free bread. Let's go. Hit my first 3-player fucking with that West Side boy. I love how you guys write some stuff down. I'm surprised Dab was not asked you if you'd like to join their team for podcasts. Yeah, maybe once I do the affiliate stuff, that could open up some doors. I'll see what happens. The funny thing is they're waiting on me. I'm not waiting on them. I need to get my ass in gear. What advice would you give to someone who has a gambling problem because they're hooked to the high wins, but they have too many losses and puts their shit? I say get the hell out. You got to get out. Like if it's that bad, then you've already hit rock bottom. And if you've already hit rock bottom and you still refuse to quit, then yeah, you need to get help. That's what I would say. You know what's funny is I tell more and more people every day about my YouTube channel, my community, how my bets are doing, how much money people make on my VIP, yada yada yada. And they're like, "Oh, I should start betting." And my best advice to anyone who doesn't bet is don't. Stay away from it. Enjoy the sport for what it is. If you like sport, don't bet because I do YouTube videos on it. My best advice for someone if they don't bet is just don't do it. There's too much risk in gambling, I would say. But for me and for all of you guys who are probably watching this, we're already hooked anyway, right? So you might as well get good at it. That's what I say. Do another Props Madness deep dive tutorial. Yeah, I can do more tutorials, that's for sure. Everyone out for Toronto. Yeah. Scotty Barnes is going to eat today. Is RJ out again? And IQ. It's interesting. Yeah, I'm skipping shit that's about basketball because I'm gassed out. All right. But hey, I answered 20 of your questions yesterday. I only got 2 bets. Yeah. It was crazy to open up this stream saying I wasn't going to go for over an hour because I've only got 2 bets, but look what time it is. We've done it again. Let me know who else is up 262 units so far this NBA season. Let's go. Actually, speaking about the 262 units, I forgot I'm doing a promo because we just had that big day. Check the video description. Use the code KD when you sign up to VIP. You'll get 34% off forever. It's not for 1 month, 2 months. It's forever. As long as you want to see access to my bets, you'll get 34% of it to the end of time. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and check that out in the video description below. Do I rock with Jordan from the final round? I used to speak to Jordan from the final round all the time. We started our YouTube channels at the same time. His one blew up. Mine went nowhere. But yeah, every now and then I'll check in. He'll check in on me, whatever. Nice guy. Nice guy. Hands down, you're the best channel out there. I appreciate that. Do you know any good things like Props Madness for college? I think Props.cash, probably the best one for college, I'd assume, but I haven't used that for a while. You're in the wrong place to give advice to quit betting. That's so true. That's so true. What's the VIP promo code? It's KD for Kevin Durant. It's KD, but just check the link in the video description below. You'll see it. It's in there. Should I take Dame points or Dame points and rebounds? I would just take the points. I don't like mixing those things up. Just take the points. Don't change your life on another human. Don't chance your life on another human making you rich if you can't maintain responsible habits. It's not a good habit. Straight up facts. Would you offer mentorship programs? It depends what you wanted to be mentored for. Is it just on betting? Is it on creating content? Is it on other things? Like I have other skills and talents outside of gambling. Like I think I do well with some other things in life. So look, send me an email, daftpreviews@gmail.com. We can talk about it. What else we got? Bitch ass parlay, make it a weekly thing like a BAP Friday or something. Yeah, something, I guess. I'm just thinking like, do I squeeze that into my regular videos? That's all. It's hard to figure things out. Like I get emails all the time. I want people want bitch ass parlays. People want money line bets. They want me to bet on spreads and totals. They want me to they want me to do ladder challenges. They want me to do only unders. They want me to the requests just keep coming, and it's like I can do what you're asking me to, but then that kind of goes away from like what I'm trying to do, which is make profit. Like I don't do all the things that people are asking me to do because it's not profitable. So I want to have more entertainment though. So sometimes I buy into those things, but yeah, I get a lot of different requests. We'll see what I can come up with, but I get your angle there. If you want bitch ass parlays, I would say the best thing to do is jump into the Discord. It's a free Discord. The link's in the video description below. There's a lot of people who create bitch ass parlays in there. Oof. 1 bucket away from 1,200 units. My Lord. That's crazy. 3 safest matchups for the day, taking into account the injury reports. I haven't looked at too many. Like when I see someone on the injury report, I just don't look at the game. Like, I just avoid it until I know who's playing. Then I'll look into it. Love to hear your thoughts when you start betting on NRL and how you make picks. The NRL is very different to betting on the NBA. Like, it's not even about analytics. It's purely on knowledge of the game. It's not necessarily stats. Like, it's a terrible way to bet. I'll tell you that. God until the end of time, you sure know how to get a deal done. Yeah, 34%. For work, I'm in like a corporate call center, financial services type of business. I don't want to disclose too much about it because that's business, but yeah, it's more of a corporate job. I've been there almost 15 years, actually. Almost 15 years in that job. So yeah, it's been a long time. I had a full head of hair back then when I started at that place. That's probably the reason why I lost it all. When did I start sports betting? Probably when I was like 15. We had no restrictions here in Australia, so it was pretty easy. What's some advice you would give a father to a 3-year-old? I think just cherish the moments, support your wife, and find one thing that makes you happy and do it. Find a way to do it, because it's easy to forget about yourself and then commit all your time to somebody else. So you got to remember yourself. Or you could be somebody who only thinks about themselves, and therefore you probably you might be neglecting your wife and your children. So just find out where you are on that scale and make sure everybody gets the love that they need. I know I said last question, but could sports betting a full-time job over time? You know how hard it is to make ends meet with a regular 9 to 5. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not bought into the idea of betting for an income. I would hate the idea for that. Maybe to make a little bit of side money that, extra. But I would say, like, for me, just making YouTube videos makes me a little bit of side money, Like, sometimes I get $50 to $100 per video on YouTube, So if I do enough of those videos, then yeah, it gives me an extra couple $1,000 every month. So I ain't complaining. Thoughts on WWE? I did see that John Cena turned heel, and I looked at it and I was like, "This." I don't know what The Rock was doing. He was standing there for so long. He hates snitching. Go to bed. Yes, thank you. You guys keep asking me questions. I'm going to finish these last questions and get the hell out of here because, yeah, I do need to get to bed. It's late as hell. This stream was longer than the last one, and I had less best to share. Do I drink whiskey? I went through a phase of drinking single malt whiskey every night, but yeah, I was too tired. I was too tired in the morning after drinking, and the kids are unforgiving. They don't understand that, so I've had to cut back. What sports do I cover? NBA, Australian sports. I love the NFL, but I haven't made too much content on it. Can you hoop though? I could once upon a time. Yeah, once upon a time I could hoop. I was pretty good I've had 2 ACL reconstructions though, so that kind of slowed me down a little bit. But just imagine Chris Paul if he was 5'7" and 50 years old. That's how I play. Like, still all right. What are the questions that I'm ducking? Say it again. It's definitely another job, definitely overtime, definitely need to quit if you are failing at that goal. 5 more years and you get 20. I am not going to do that. No. I'm hoping real soon that I can do content stuff. I just need to get the right partnerships in place. You know what I'm saying? 5-0 yesterday. Let's go. Try a ladder challenge. Would be tailing 100%. Yeah, that's the problem. Everyone will tail my ladder challenge. And ladder challenges are absolute bait. People who run ladder challenges, they're not doing it to make money. They're just doing it to get more attention. And I don't want to mislead people like that. I already know mathematically those ladder challenges aren't the smartest things to do. What are my picks? Giannis over his points and LeBron over his rebounds. This is more of a Q&A, and it was awesome. Glad we're able to get to know you on a personal level and have a good day. Yes, sir. I'm actually thinking of creating like a TikTok account or something so I can share me outside of sports betting. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Chris Paul isn't 50. I said, like, imagine if Chris Paul was 50. If Chris Paul was 50 and 5'7", that's how good I am at hooping. Like, it's not bad. Like, I think he'll still be good at 50. You got bad knees too? Yeah, that's right. I'm 34, so I'm 6 years older than you. Imagine how I feel. Have you ever tried surfing? Would love to surf in Australia. I am of Filipino descent, and the one thing we do not do very well is swim. So I have never tried surfing. I'm actually not good at swimming at all. Yeah, we cooked. The VIP price is in USD. So just send me an email on the VIP stuff if you have any questions. All right. I'm going to bounce. I see there's more comments coming through, but you guys are going to keep me here all night, and I can't do that. I got to be up in, almost 1 a.m. I got to be up in like 5 hours. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. I appreciate you all. Let's go.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.